Today we're going to have a look at the Ronaldo soul roll chop. The skill looks like this. You roll over the ball, you chop it to the other side. We're going to have a look at a couple scenarios, how to use it in different game situations and also on different levels of football, amateur, youth level and pro level. Okay, scenario number one, which is most likely if you play on a youth level or on a lower level. On a professional level, you only use the skill in order when both of you have like a lot of speed and then you just want to create some time and space in order for you to take your head up and pass the ball or get repositioned. It's not a skill you can use on a high speed dribbling straight onto a defender and then dribbling around him. Looks like this, the defender is coming with speed onto you, we dribble, and for skill number one, for this variation, make sure that you don't do the skill too close to the player, okay? If you do this skill too close to the player, he might block you off and get between you and the ball, okay? We want to avoid this. So the defender comes, he should be on one level with you. So if he's too far back, what's going to happen is you roll and you kick it right into the player. Player comes, takes your speed, is on one level with you, roll, touch, rotate to the other side. What we have to do on a professional level or on a high skill level is we have to execute the skill closer and a little bit differently. So what we do is we roll, and instead of chopping the ball away from us and making this kind of a chasing after the ball for the both of us, who is faster, roll diagonally over, control the ball just next to our leg, lift it up, take it sideways and be on top of the ball ready to shoot or to execute a skill. Looks like this. Roll, touch, chop, go. And for this skill, it's very important that you allow the defender or the player to come close enough. So as soon as he's here, you get towards him, you make him move towards him so he feels like he has to tackle. Then you do the touch, then he gets static and then you move away, but staying on top of the ball, being ready to shoot straight away out of the next touch. The last scenario is the opponent's goal is in front of you. This is your own goal over there. There's a crowded space, a lot of players, tight space, not much to go, no empty spaces up there. The skill is you dribble forward, you roll sideways, close to all the defenders, roll and then take the ball all the way backwards, get on top, take your head up and then you can pass the ball or turn around, face forward and then take on the players again. Looks like this. Roll, touch backwards and then get on top of the ball. And the critical part here as well is that you're getting on top of the ball as quick as possible. Roll, touch on top and then you keep going and do your skills. Now we go through some common mistakes that players make. Common mistake number one is that you have the ball too far in front of you when you execute and you roll too straight forward and then you're out of position and leaning backwards when you do that push. So make sure when you dribble, you're on top of the ball, you roll the ball along here, underneath your knee here, and then you bring a heel chop and you keep your knees bent. That's a position after you chop, your knee is bent, that makes it easier to start off straight away. If you come here, roll and chop and you're straight, you have to bend your knees, you have to go down and you have to run. So it takes way more time to get back on the ball and away from the defender. Ideal execution, roll, chop, bend your knees, go. Another common mistake is when after you roll over, you roll diagonally, but then you push the ball sideways into the player instead of diagonally in the opposite direction of the running direction of the player. The player runs over here, you kick the ball that way, he turns around, he has an advantage. So you always want to go, if the player comes from the side here, from this side straight over here, I roll over and go straight back against the running direction of the player. That's a crucial part if you use the first variation of the skill. A couple of pro tips for this one, okay? Pro tip number one is, obviously, you want the player on the same height as you. Try not to execute the skill if the player comes over here and is like 2 meters behind you. You do the skill here, push it into the opposite direction. He's stuck over there and has a shorter distance to the ball, okay? it's very crucial that you give the player time to catch up on your level and then do the skill. But with this variation, be cautious, not letting them get too close to you, because if they're too close, you do that skill, they might get stuck earlier and can interfere into the ball, or straight while you push it, extend their leg and touch the ball. Variation number 1, the one that I recommend to use against a very skilled player on a high level, is common mistakes there are that if you roll and then you stop the ball and then you go too far past the ball. So you let your center of gravity shift too far past the ball. So you come, touch, and then you're in that position, and then you have to regroup again, okay? So it's very crucial that you come, you roll, and as soon as you touch, my shoulder and my center of gravity already shifts to the opposite direction. Roll, touch, center of gravity shifts, push, then you can pass or score a goal depending on which position on the field you are actually at. With variation number 3, what is crucial there is that you get in a range where the players react but don't tackle you. Because ideally you want to avoid doing this skill, pushing it backwards all the way, and the players running at you, able to overtake you, because you have to stop, they have the energy forward and they are faster at the ball, and it's going to be a challenge and you're going to face your own goal. Okay, so you want to do that skill early enough. If there's a couple of defenders there, the movement is more important here. So the first rollover is kind of a feint rollover. So you come, you pretend feint, turn, touch. So it's kind of, they get stuck because they don't know if you're going to pass the ball, if you're going to shoot, or what you're going to do. So it's less that than them, and getting back, it's more, the ball comes, roll, touch, and then going the other direction. So make sure that's a proper movement so they don't know what you're going to do, and then you change direction. What's crucial for this one as well is that when you come, and besides of doing that feint roll, that as soon as you touch the ball here, you shift your gravity as well on your front knee, keep both of your knees bent, and then you push up, push off. That makes it way easier for you to stay on the ball and get close to the ball. Rather than roll, jump past, get stuck, having to get on top and then dribbling. I hope you enjoy practicing. Let me know which version of the skill you're most likely going to use in the comment section below. Like, comment, share. See you next time.